Hi, Peter Bernstein again from the show floor of Interactions 13 in beautiful Indianapolis, and I'm here with Tim Titus, who's the CTO of PathSolutions, and we're talking VoIP performance monitoring. So why don't you give us a little rundown on what you do and why it's important?
Sure. There's a lot of folks that run voice systems that have difficulty finding out what happens with call quality. They'll have people complain about call quality issues and say, hey, I had a bad call yesterday at 11 a.m. And they can't resolve the problem because they don't know what the network was doing yesterday at 11 a.m. And so they search and they search and they search, end up finding nothing and say, gee, maybe the next time that happens we'll satisfy the problem, we'll find the problem. And that just isn't acceptable in today's business. So what we've done is we've designed a solution that will give you the root cause of those call quality problems so that you can go back in time and say, here's what the network was doing on all of the involved links for that phone call.
So we all know what the agents are doing, probably ad nauseum. This is about what the network is doing.
Exactly. And if you're running a lot of agents, call quality is so important. It's difficult to end up making sure that you have good customer service. But if your phone system's falling down because the network is bad, you've got even more problems. It's just going to make it a nightmare. And so you're trying to keep customers happy, and in an environment where every second counts for those agents, you can't have a poor quality network. It just doesn't work.
Talk to me a little bit about how often there are performance issues, well, obviously, especially on VoIP calls. TDM is probably a different issue, but how big a problem is this? And talk to me a little bit about your relationship with Interactive Intelligence.
Sure. Some organizations, they might be lucky. They might end up getting away with not having any call quality problems for weeks. Other organizations, they'll realize that, gee, we're having problems on a daily basis. And the whole trick is avoiding them in the first place. And that's what a lot of companies we're finding is in the interactive intelligence space is they're figuring, it's worth the investment to say, let's prevent these problems from happening in the first place. So we have a lot of interactive intelligence customers adopting our solution, as well as their partners realizing this is the best practice way to avoid those problems. And as a result of these customers and these partners all adopting our solution, Interactive has realized that, hey, they need a strong partner as well. So we're actually an interactive intelligence technology partner, and they recommended us to a lot of their customers and partners because this is the best practices way to avoid the problem in the first place.
So how many pain points are you covering, and is this deep packet inspection that you're using, or talk a little bit about the technology real fast?
Sure, it's not deep packet inspection. What we're looking at is we're looking at the entire network, every switch, every router, every port on every switch and every router, every 5 minutes, and 18 error counters on every one of those interfaces. That way we go deep on the network intelligence that exists out there inside those switches and routers to give you the root cause of what happened 2 hours ago, what happened 2 days ago, so that you get the problem resolved and prevent it from happening in the first place.
And a lot of powerful analytics behind that, I'm guessing.
Yeah, exactly. That way we can get you a plain English answer of what the fault is, rather than just saying, hey, you've got some mysterious FCS errors. We're going to tell you, you have a bad patch cord. That way resolution can happen immediately without additional troubleshooting.
So Tim, thanks a lot. If you're having problems wondering about the call quality on your call center calls, Tim's somebody you ought to look up, and PathSolutions certainly somebody that you ought to check out.